Oh my, sparks are gonna fly when we kiss. Full on anticipation is what it is. You create expectation in me.
Hi, I'm Sabriye. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina and Istanbul, Turkey. I started singing when I was 3. And I went through musical theater, classical music, and opera, and then I decided to sing pop. I was living in Istanbul, Turkey, and I was sending my music everywhere I could think of, and I got a response from a lawyer in New York who invited me to New York to start working on my English album. I took a meeting at End of Era Studios on 54th Street, and in walked the 45s, which are made up of Trevor Asti and Christopher Dobbins.
My name is Trevor Asti, and I am one half of a production team called the 45s, which is comprised of myself and my production partner, Chris Dobbins.
This is Chris, my producer, and little did I know they would undertake my album, being the executive producers and really working on it as hard as they did, and it turned out really well. I'm really excited about it. What ended up happening was I invited the 45s down to Asheville, North Carolina, my hometown, to work at Echo Mountain Recording Studios, which is a refurbished church made into a recording studio. The feeling you get there is very different than other places because it used to be a church, and I really was impressed by the acoustics and the recording ability that they have there. Hey everybody, we're here in Asheville, North Carolina, and we're working on finishing up my 14 songs for my album. Right now we've been working on Electrocute Me. You can hear it playing a little bit in the background. Let me give you a little bit of a tour of the studio. As you can see, this is the studio, like the control room. With all the big speakers and the mute board. And all of the freeze and stuff. And if you'll follow me, I'll show you. This is Echo Mountain Recording Studios, and what they did was they took an old church and they turned it into the studio. So the live room is actually the church, and you can see the stained glass in the background. Working with the 45s was an adventure. It went from really focusing on the music, creating an amazing product, to them scaring me every 2 seconds in the studio, hiding, joking. It was very entertaining, to say the least. A typical day of ours working at Echo would start off with a good breakfast. We would slowly make our way over to the studio. I actually learned a lot when we were working at the studio because I didn't actually know that much about the recording process. I had sung live a lot, but not so much in big studios like that. And so I got to learn a lot about equipment and different types of microphones. I got to try out their amazing microphone selection. We would set up. Usually we would do vocals in the morning so that I would have enough energy. And then Trevor and Chris would work on tracks and mix in the afternoon. And we would usually go pretty late at night, 12, 1, it would be pretty late. But finally, when we were about to die, we'd end up going home, and then the next day we'd start all over again.
10:30 this morning, sightseeing, and I'm beat, and all I want to do is go to sleep. But we're in this McDonald's, and I don't know what's going to happen. I just want to go home.
Working with Trevor was a brand new experience. I had never actually worked with a vocal producer of that caliber before. He had a lot of experience from New York, LA, Las Vegas.
I've been executive producing a lot of her projects. We get songs and tracks from producers all around the world, and we go through them and we pick and choose and, you know, see what songs might work best for her.
It really helped me spread my wings and do some of the vocals that I had been wanting to do. It allowed me to not have any barriers in front of me. I just got to experiment a little bit in the studio because he knew what he was doing so well that I didn't have to worry about all the details.
She'll only keep you under lock and key. Make your choice and trust your intuition. Take my hand.
once we came down to Asheville, North Carolina and worked at Echo Mountain, we kind of realized our potential of making music together. So then we decided to open High Note Productions, our own studio, which is a production studio that allows us to keep writing songs, keep making music, and really expanding our catalog. This way, I didn't have to stop writing music. We had our own studio, we could keep going, we could keep trying new things, and I think that it's really nice that we get to bring a little bit of an international feel to Asheville. Adding my Turkish pop to, you know, our real American roots. And I think that it's really nice that we get to keep making music. That's always the most important thing.
I walked into the studio for a session that I had scheduled, and I saw Sabriye there. And I heard some of the things she was playing, and I was immediately drawn in. I'm always looking out for artists that I want to work with, and as soon as I heard her voice, I was like, I have a track for you.
We are recording Shades of Grey, and Zach is trying to play the piano and finish it up. It's like 12:30, 12 at night, right?
Just about there.
Ish. And
Alright, I gotta go now because Zach's about to record.
Zach's about to record.
I played her the track, and luckily she loved it, and they started writing to it that night, and that song turned into Shades of Grey, and it came out amazing.
Shades of Grey was an amazing song for me. It was something that I always wanted to talk about. We were at End of Era Productions in New York, and a good friend of ours, Phil Greco, came in, and we sat down, and he asked me kind of what I wanted to write about, and I think it's an important time in one's life, usually when you're kind of younger, and you break up with that first big boyfriend or girlfriend, and you kind of realize that the world is not really the same. It's not really black and white anymore, it's really shades of gray. And that's the whole basis for that song. I really got to do what I wanted to do vocally in that song. I got to use my operatic range, but in a very pop way.
And when the night seems darkest and you feel like hope has died, look into the sky, the sun will rise. So rise up with the morning, sleep with the coming night. Embrace the time between the shadow and light. It's all shades of gray, 'cause it's all shades of gray, shades of gray. Did you ever lose yourself to love? When you look into the mirror, you're not the same.
Crazy Love was a song I wrote with Dana Calitri and Jeff Franzel. And Jeff is one of the most talented pianists and songwriters I've ever met. And Dana was actually my voice teacher for a little while and an amazing support system while I was in New York. The whole basis of that song for me was that it's about not settling. It's about actually going for that crazy love, even though it's a little scary and even though you might not find it.
Like your heart is breaking open. Oh, I could say I'll stay here, close my eyes and pray to feel. Yeah, I could lie, but it'll never be enough, 'cause I want crazy love.
Since we opened High Note Productions at the beginning of the year, we've really been working on finding new writers to work with, collaborating with new writers, collaborating with different producers, and expanding our catalog. It's a really nice feeling to be able to write and do as much music as you want to. Having the freedom of your own studio has been a wonderful experience for me. And I'm really excited because I am getting to use different types of music from all over the world and create a different kind of pop for myself.
Lay me down on a bed of roses, sink me in the river at dawn, send me away with the words of a love song, a sharpened knife of a short life. Well, I've had.
To learn more about me and to listen to some of my music, go to www.sabriye.com.
Attention.